Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's 2022 and we are excited to have Harkey fishing reports going again for the Shell Knob and Table Rock Lake area. And really got an interesting report for you today. This is March the 2nd, and honestly I haven't been doing a ton of bass fishing. We've been doing more crappie fishing than anything, and the crappie bite has been absolutely phenomenal on Table Rock and Stockton Lake as well, but we're going to talk mostly about Table Rock today. Over the last couple weeks been fishing the Roaring River arm. I have not got to the Kings River arm, but I'm hearing a lot of reports that they're biting pretty good there as well. But I'll tell you exactly what I'm finding right now. First off, the water temperature has been running about 45 to 47 degrees, and the weather right now is really warming up, and that's going to really help the bite go. It is going to start moving these fish though. Water temperature being in that 45 degree range, you know, they're going to start moving up closer and closer to their spawning area. Lake level's about 916, which is a little high for this time of year. We did have some good rain a couple weeks ago, but dry forecast for now, so that water level is falling just a little bit as they try to get it back down in preparation for spring rains. So exactly about the crappie, the ones in Roaring River, we've been finding about halfway back the Roaring River arm, and they're not where a lot of people typically look. These crappie are schooled up in large schools right in the middle of the channel, and so sometimes the channel's over towards one side, sometimes it's over on the other. For those of you guys that don't have any electronics, man, just look at the banks. If it's a bluff style bank or a pretty steep bank, typically the channel is on that side. If you're looking at pea gravel or clay, a lot of times that is not the creek channel side, that's the shallower side. And so I've been using down imaging and side imaging and even regular sonar to find the schools. So when I get about halfway in there, I just take it off plane and I idle until I see a large group of those fish. And when I say groups of fish, these crappie are typically in groups of 40 to 400. And so they really show up good on your imaging. You're just going to see a big, massive school of fish. They are moving around. They're not on cover. They're not on standing timber. They're not on brush piles. These guys are in open water, which makes it really easy. You don't break off, but they are moving. And so that's really tricky, and that's where, and I'll get cussed for this, but that's where live scope becomes in really, really handy on these guys. Once you find the school on your regular electronics, what us guys before live scope would do would be start fishing for those. And the first few casts, you may be in them, but those fish move a little, and you can't find them. And so with forward-facing sonar, live scope, active target, live imaging, hummingbirds, live imaging, you can now stay on those fish as they swim around. You can know that they're moving right or left or further away or closer to you. And so with that live scope, you can stay on those schools, and most of the fish are suspended. They're not right on the bottom, but they're not up off the top. They're going to be anywhere. Most of the schools I've been seeing have started about 10 feet deep and go as deep as 20 to 25 feet. I've been fishing in about 25 to 30 feet of water. So, you know, if you're fishing on the bottom, you're below the crappie and you're not going to do any good. But the more likely thing is you're not going to be able to get down deep enough to them, and you'll swim it too far over the top of them. Occasionally you catch an active fish, but with live scope you can adjust, you can learn your countdown. Typically I'm fishing an 1/8 ounce jig, and I have to let it sink for about 6 to 8 seconds to get down there. And then the best retrieve I've found for these guys is just a real slow, steady retrieve right through the middle of that school. And it's unreal. Sometimes when you swim it right through a school of 400, you'll have 5 or 6 chase it, but they never bite it. And man, you think, how could they not eat that? But that's live scope for you. It's the frustrating thing about it. As far as colors go and what bait I've been using a lot of the either Bobby Garland baby swimmer shads. It's a 2-inch straight-tailed shad, or Flea Fly makes a really good one as well. And I've been using the color Monkey Milk and then Bluegrass. So I like to stick with something, the water's pretty clear. I like to stick with something that looks very, very natural, looks kind of like a shad. And so that, you know, that give you some pointers there. I mean, really, I think you could use just your favorite color, because I really think they're going to eat it. There's enough of them there. If one of them doesn't like it, there's 300 more that can pick from it. So, you know, give that a whirl. I've been limiting out every day I've gone, and I'd say I've about 3 to 4 hours to put a limit together. Well, 3 would be probably the longest it's taken me, but it's not super easy. I mean, I've seen it better, but I've seen it a whole lot worse too. So crappie fishing right now has been great. On the walleye level, man, those things have already kind of started. I guess they pretty much already made their run up the rivers. They're catching them, way up the rivers in the deeper pools. A lot of folks are using a minnow rigged on a jig. Sometimes they're using old creek chubs and stuff like that. I haven't been chasing them too much, though I have caught a few on the crappie jigs chasing the crappie, and so that's always fun when you get to tie into those. Bass fishing, I've done a little bit of it, but not enough to give you a real great report. We're fixing to go, I think, this Friday, and get started on those bass fishing reports again. I've been throwing a jerkbait when I do go. I love fishing a jerkbait, and I honestly hadn't had much luck with it. I know the A-rig is working as well, so and from what I understand, right now they're hitting that A-rig a lot better than they're hitting the jerkbait. But a lot of the tournaments I fish in, we can't fish the A-rig, so I don't throw it a lot. Not to mention it's a big old heavy sucker and kind of hard to throw. So right now, if you're going bass fishing, I would focus on your bluff ends at towards spawning pockets. They're really starting to stage up on bluff ends, and then some of your transition banks where it goes from chunky rocks into like pea gravel. Right there where they're fixing to go up in and spawn, they're starting to really get in on that group. And this time of year you don't catch a lot of numbers. A lot of times though you'll catch quality, and so don't go out there expecting that you're going to have a 50 fish day, because it just doesn't happen like that this time of year on bass. But I do go out there hoping I find me a 3+ to 4+ pounder when I go, and most of the time you can, if you put your mind to it and get after it, you can catch a couple good ones in a day. So y'all enjoy that. I know there's some big tournaments coming up, and bass season is basically around the corner, and so keep in touch. Harkey fishing reports will be coming out every Friday to Saturday, and try to get you guys ready for the weekend. And keep your lines wet, and man, have a fantastic day. See ya.